I come. All right, let me get TikTok going. Let me make sure my settings are good. Afternoon tea in London. All right. Hello, Brandon. Hello, everyone. All right, let's see if we can get ourselves together. Sorry, y'all. From one stream to the next. All right, let me make sure sound and everything is okay. Camera and audio. Okay, I think we're good to go. I just need to pull up my, what do you call it? Pictures and video. Oh, let me turn off the music. Okay. All right, everyone. Come on in. Come on in. Make yourself comfortable. Sit back and relax. We are going to do a dining documentary tonight. Welcome. Please allow me to introduce myself for anybody new here. Hi, I am Maggie, your substitute teacher. Usually, I'm welcoming you to my struggle cooking class, but twice a month I do take time to go over some of my etiquette and elegance journey for those of you all who are interested. A little coffee, forgive me. Um, let's see if I can move it over here. So, one of the things that I absolutely love about my etiquette and elegance journey, some of the stuff that I'm learning is a refresher, some of it is new, and some of it is stuff I already knew. But one of the things that has been new to me, hello, Delisha, is the experience of afternoon tea. And for anyone new here, I have taken several and continue to study. I'm always a student, never a master of my craft, but I have been studying ways to refine for my own personal reasons. It's important for me. Hello, D Stall. It's important for me to be the best version of myself, and being a boy mom and also working in corporate. Being in a masculine environment, sometimes that can come on you, and that's not how I want to show up. So I work very hard to be intentional about maintaining my softness. And part of that for me has been investing in etiquette and elegance classes. So, one of the modules in the courses that I've taken has been the practice of afternoon tea. And we have done an episode here before talking about the history of afternoon tea, how it started. And I know we're not royal and I'm not British, but since it did originate in the UK, whenever I travel, because I do travel a lot. At least once a year, I try to take a vacation. So this summer will be Greece. So if you like this dining documentary style, feel free to follow me because I do stream for you every day, usually food related. But I always like to experience something that is, hello, Sarah. I like to experience things that are native to the land that I'm in. Hello, Jesse, which means having real Italian food in Italy this summer. And I'm not really big on Mediterranean food, but I'm looking forward to trying real Mediterranean food. Hello, Corey. When I go to Greece, um, authentic Ghanaian food when I'm in Africa, South Africa. Because, here in the States, we have our versions of things. But what do they say? There's nothing like the real thing, baby. So, for those of you all who may or may not know, last month I was in London doing some recording, but I also had some downtime. So, in my downtime, I wanted to take advantage of some of the sightseeing. And one of the things that I booked was afternoon tea at Fortnum and Mason. So what we do here in the dining documentaries, you can sit back and relax. The first hour, I'm going to pull up the website and we're going to take a look at Fortnum and Website's page. Let me take off this bracelet. We're going to take a look at the page. We're going to learn a little bit about the history of the store and maybe a little bit about afternoon tea. And then in the second hour, I am going to show you all my pictures and videos. So anybody who's watching on TikTok or Instagram, if you would like to see the screen share, you can always find me on YouTube and Facebook, Maggie the Substitute Teacher. So let's find Fortnum and Mason website, and then I'm going to share my screen. But where are my manners? Let me take attendance first, see who we have here. If you would like to be counted present, feel free to announce yourself. If you prefer to watch from the clouds, you are always welcome. No matter what we're talking about, my channel is always the happy, wholesome, family-friendly side of YouTube. So on my cooking page, I'm doing a masculine series this week, but I wanted to bring a little bit of the femininity. Well, I always bring the femininity, but we're going to talk about something for the ladies, but the gents are always welcome here. All right, so who do we have over here on IG? We have Corey Talton. Thank you for being here. Sarah Marie, thank you for being here, sweetheart. I see D Stahl. Hello, my dear. Thank you for being here. It's Tsukishi. Hello. We've got Brandon GC. Thank you. And Simon Carr. Hello, everyone on IG. Thank you so much for tuning in. And then let's see who we have on TikTok. We have Anna waving, Andre waving. Hello. Is it Liba B? Hello, Sean. Thank you all so much for being here. And then let's see who we have on Facebook and YouTube. We have Kia G. She says, good evening, Maggie and class. I hope you all are well. Hello, my dear. I'm feeling pretty good. Thank you. Jessie Darling. Hello, sweetheart. She says, hello, Maggie. We have Delisha Span, or is it Spawn? Please correct me. She says, greetings with the wave. Thank you. And then Real Bravado Network. He says he loves the graphic. Well, thank you, kind sir. You all please check out Real Bravado Network. I'm doing a collab with him all week. He has sponsored a week of recipes on my cooking channel, easy lunches for your working man. So we just got off a collab, and I'm so happy to see you back. All right, so let's see if I can share my screen and let's talk. So first things first, I have been to afternoon tea here in the Atlanta area. If you all have never had this experience, I highly recommend it. One of the reasons why I started doing this is because, like I told you, in the elegant etiquette classes that I'm taking, we have modules. So we have things that we have to study, and then we have assignments. And some of the assignments that we're given are to put ourselves in some of these environments so that we can experience fine dining, luxury hotel. Not that I live that way. Y'all know I'm a mom and I clip coupons, but it does allow you to practice these things that you study. And it also gets you comfortable in different environments, because you all know I always say I'm a small town girl, but I have big dreams and I want to travel the world and I want to take you all with me. So I just want to make sure that I act accordingly. And that's what we do here. Delisha says, you pronounced it right the first time. Okay, Spawn. Thank you, sweetheart. Jessica says, am I back in London? No, my dear, I am not. I'm home. But for two reasons. Twice a month, every other Wednesday on my Teachable Moments with Maggie channel, which, yes, we're streaming there as well. I share with you all what I'm learning on my etiquette and elegance journey. I have so much footage from what I did in London that you all haven't seen yet. Usually what we do here on my etiquette and elegance lessons is I'm reviewing with you all what I've learned, but today I wanted to combine a little bit dining documentary and a lesson as well. All right, so feel free to keep the questions coming, and I'm going to share my screen, but I would love to get back to London soon. So if you see any flash sales from Atlanta, please let me know. All right, so let me share my screen. Okay, so one other thing I wanted to share with you all as we get this going. So I've shared that I am not required, but I'm encouraged to actually practice what we learn. And so you can also do this. If you live in or close to a major city, check any luxury hotel in your area. You would be surprised. They probably have afternoon tea. I know the St. Regis hotel chain here in Atlanta has tea every Saturday and Sunday. The Waldorf Astoria, there's several of them. And then you may also have tea houses where you can go and you can experience a proper English tea if that's something that you're interested in. All right. So Fortnum and Mason is the location that I picked in London. There are several places to have tea in London. You can have it at the Ritz Hotel, breakfast at Tiffany's, so many different places. However, my etiquette teacher, one of my etiquette teachers, Emma DuPont, is English, and she's in Europe. And every few months, after she finishes a course with a group of students, she actually invites them to London to have, a fine dining dinner. I haven't shared that one with you all yet either, or tea, or had a black tie affair, go to the ballet, go to the opera, do these things as a class so that we can practice. And unfortunately for me, my trip to London was 1 week before the group tea. So I wanted to go to the exact same location and experience it myself. All right, so let us begin. And I hope you all are doing well. Thank you so much for being here. All right, so Fortnum and Mason is a store actually in London, and this store has a tea salon, or as Emma calls it, a tea salon. So let's see what we can learn about Fortnum and Mason. It was my first time there, so you can also have your tea delivered, or whatever you would like delivered. You can also find some of their products on Amazon as well, but they will ship to you in your currency. So if you wanted to do any shopping, you absolutely could. Oh my gosh, look at this. Look at this. Oh, all right. So let's see what we can learn. We're not going to go through the whole website, um, but let's see if there's anything about their history. What's on? All right. I did go to the Diamond Jubilee Tea Salon, so I am going to click on this one and see what it says. Oh, okay. Does that thumbnail look familiar? Oh, I feel like such a lady already. All right. Just a couple paragraphs, so I am going to read it. The Diamond Jubilee Tea Salon. Our tea salon has been a great many things for over 314 years. And one of the things, you all, I would encourage you, I know some people like to travel, some people don't. However, if you do have the option to travel, one of the things I love, especially when you go to older cultures, whether it's in Europe or whether it's in Africa, being an American, I was born in Ghana but raised here. The United States is an incredible country. However, it is relatively young when you look at other cultures. So everything here in the States is 1, 2, not really even 300 years old. When you travel to other countries that have been around, and other cultures that have been around for hundreds and thousands of years, it's really humbling, and it really gives you a different perspective. I remember the first time I went to London and Paris, and you see churches that have been there since the 1100s in the same doors. It's fascinating. So I would encourage you all, if you can. Hello, Star Girl. Thank you for being here. I'm sharing my screen on Facebook and YouTube if anybody wants to find Maggie, the substitute teacher. All right, let us continue. So this tea salon has been here for 314 years. Isn't that something? All right, let's continue. It began as an apartment for the Fortnum family, of course, then became an interior decorating department in the 1920s and 1930s, and later an antique department and restaurant known as St. James. Ah, you all will see that in the pictures. This is a store, it's a restaurant, it's an ice cream shop, it is so many things. Since 2012, it's paid homage to the timeless tradition of afternoon tea. Okay, so this location has been many things, and they've been doing tea for a little over 10 years. Epitomizing the sophistication of afternoon and high tea in all its splendor, our Diamond Jubilee Tea Salon was named in honor of Her late Majesty Queen Elizabeth's visit in 2012. All right, so when the Queen came in 2012, they named it after her, because she formally opened the room in the company of their Royal Highnesses, then the Duchess of Cornwall and Duchess of Cambridge. Ah, okay. And today and every day, the perfect place for your afternoon tea party. Okay, so this is good to know. So if you ever wanted to go have tea on any day of the week, Fortnum and Mason in London is one of the places you can go. Most of the tea places that I've seen in the States, the few that I've been to, hello, Carice, they have tea on the weekends. It's usually, think of it like our version of a Sunday brunch. They may have Saturday and Sunday, but there are places where you can get tea any day of the week. What does Jesse say? I see a recurring theme. It definitely has a breakfast at Tiffany's feeling. Oh my goodness. Y'all, that breakfast at Tiffany's stream, I'll never forget it when I was talking about my avocado toast and MTR joined the stream. Oh, that was so much fun. I was squealing like a little girl. But yes, so you all will see my actual pictures. We'll go through the menu briefly and then I'll show you my pictures. But if you've ever been to London, if you've ever been to the UK, it's a very different how do you say, the decor, that English garden, swirly flowers, like this dress that I have on, a bit more delicate. A lot of things I've noticed in the States can be a lot more unisex, but there, the spaces that were masculine are masculine, and the spaces that are feminine were feminine, and I love that. All right, so let's see if there's anything else we can learn. Oh, I did want to tell you all just a brief lesson about afternoon tea, just so you know, and I did not know this. I had to learn it too in my courses. Hundreds of years ago, I don't know when, there was a royal person. I should know her name, but I don't. So this royal lady, back in the past in the UK, they had lunch around our time, like 12, and then dinner was around 8 or 9 p.m. So that was a long time to wait between meals. And so this royal lady asked her house staff to go to the kitchen and please bring to her room some tea and a few like cookies, just a snack basically to hold her over between lunch and dinner. And so the house person went to the kitchen and basically made up a tray of tea and some delectable treats that were in the kitchen and brought them to this royal lady. So she was able to enjoy a snack to hold her over. Well, she enjoyed it so much, the next day she asked her the same. And the next day she asked for the same. And then she started inviting her lady friends over to enjoy afternoon tea with her. And so it turned into um, a national pastime, if you will. And a lot of the etiquette history starts with royalty. And y'all know I am not royalty and I don't even try to pretend, but it is nice to know the history. So the ladies of the area would gather in the afternoon and put their dresses on and have tea and probably talk gossip and all of that stuff. So it started in one woman's home and then it kind of spilled out into hotels and restaurants, and that is the history of afternoon tea. So I wanted to experience in London. Mona says, did someone say pinkies up? Funnily enough, it's actually not the proper etiquette to drink with your pinkies up. We're actually supposed to keep them tucked up underneath under, but I understand. Yes, let's celebrate and let's be girls together. Star Girl is laughing. Yes, thank you all for liking the live stream. So we're going to have a little bit of feminine fun tonight. The gentlemen are always welcome here. We are always the happy, wholesome, family-friendly side of YouTube. All right, so we've learned the history. You can reserve a table. I would highly recommend. I did that before I went to London. I knew I was going to have a lot of downtime, so I did do lots of sightseeing, and this is one thing that I wanted to practice. Hello, fairy godmother. Thank you for being here. If you all want to see my screen, I'm on Facebook and YouTube. You can find Maggie the Substitute Teacher. All right, so let's take a look at the menu. And I do want to talk about the difference between afternoon tea and high tea. So let's see, let me go back. Afternoon tea at Fortnum's. Just look at the, oh my gosh, they call it crockery. And I know I'm not English, so of course I can't say it properly, but the patisserie, which are the pastries, afternoon tea, what I remember is, no problem. So afternoon tea, when you go to your traditional teas, like I've been to here in the States, you will get a menu and it'll have pages and pages of different teas that you can choose from. If you like green tea, black tea, fruits tea, any of that kind of stuff. Hello, Blush and Bashfully. And then they will present you with a tower, a three-tiered tower of snacks. Usually on the bottom, it's sandwiches. On the middle, it's what they call scones. We call them scones, but think of them as sweet biscuits. And then on the top layer, it is your pastries, your desserts. So the proper etiquette, just so you all know, when you go to afternoon tea with others, you start at the bottom. So you start with your sandwiches, excuse me, and then you eat your sandwiches and you wait for everybody to be finished with that course, if you will, before you move to the next course. Now, don't panic. Excuse me, when you go to afternoon tea, if they bring out the the tiered tray, and it looks a little bit light, it's okay. It's completely fine etiquette to ask for what we would call a refill or ask for more. So if you want some more salmon sandwiches or cucumber sandwiches or anything like that, you can absolutely ask for more. But also, it's proper etiquette to make sure that everybody has had one of everything before you go back and get seconds. If someone says, "Oh, I don't eat seafood," and they're not going to eat the salmon, then that's fine. Then when everyone is done with that first layer, then you move on to the second layer. The second layer is going to be your scones. You all will see all this in my pictures. Your sweet biscuits, they usually come wrapped in a towel because they're baked fresh and they're warm. And then you would open them almost like, opening a sandwich. And then you would do, they call it clotted cream. Think of it as like a really like creamy butter, and then the different jams. And usually there's an assortment, and you can put whatever you want, and then you eat your scones. There is a proper etiquette on how to eat them. If you want to know, let me know. I'll tell you. Same thing. You finished the second tier of the scones before you move on to the next. You can ask for extras if you would like. And then when everybody's ready, you move to the third tier, which is your desserts, your little cakes, your little pastries. And this is where the pastry chef can really shine and can really express their creativity. So as you can see, this is really like a three-course. I wouldn't call it a meal, but it can be a meal. It can be a lot of food. So you can see how with the ladies and the royalty, it turned into an afternoon dining experience because they would meet, they would drink their tea, they would have their snacks. Um, so that's afternoon tea. Let me see what y'all are saying in the chat. Mona says, see what I know. Jessie says, I knew that too. Oh, about the pinkies? Lauren says, hello, just in time for tea. Yes, my dear, come on in. My neighbor is here. Delisha says, I'm reading about how to have afternoon tea while you're speaking. Well, wonderful. Well, hopefully I did you all proud. Okay, so that's afternoon tea. And the beverage is usually tea. And I could be wrong, but if you ever see afternoon tea, that's what I described. If you see high tea, I believe that adds an extra uh, layer of fanciness. So you can opt for champagne. Um, and I did. I went ahead and had a glass of champagne because look, if I'm in London, I'm doing everything, y'all. I'm doing it all. Um, and or you can have a warm like an entree. Think of it in the portion of a small plate. So think of it like an appetizer. So instead of having like finger sandwiches, like room temperature or cold sandwiches, you can actually have hot food for your first layer. And that's what I did. So you all will see what I had, but they give you the option if you want afternoon tea or if you want high tea. I ended up with high tea, but I just wanted to share that with you all. Who do we have here? The Quiet Storm. I've been looking for you. I need to make you a moderator. Quiet Storm says, did you have crumpets while in England? Well, kind sir, I need to know where they are, what they are. But if you all would forgive me for 1 second, I just need to make the Quiet Storm a moderator. What are crumpets? Add as moderator. There you go. I hope you're doing well. Um, I don't remember having crumpets, but I would love to go back. So, and y'all know I'm here for all the snacks. So greedy. Oh my gosh. All right, let us continue. Okay, afternoon tea at Fortnum. So let's see what their tea menu is. Oh, here it is, y'all. Couple paragraphs. I'll read here and then we'll keep going. So, afternoon tea at Fortnum's. The tradition of afternoon tea dates back more than 200 years when, struck by hunger pangs somewhere between lunch and dinner. There she is, the Duchess of Bedford. I should remember that. The Duchess of Bedford invited her friends over for a tea and light refreshment in her rooms at Woburn Abbey, of course. Word of her tea time innovation spread, and on her return to London, afternoon tea was deliciously inescapable. So, see, you all could be trendsetters and not even know. Now, some 2 centuries later, Fortnum's has become the undisputed home of this most uplifting and fulfilling of rituals, famous the world over for the precisely cut sandwiches, fresh baked cakes, insurpassable scones and tea, glorious tea we serve in our Diamond Jubilee Tea Salon, which was opened by Her Majesty the Queen Elizabeth, God rest her soul, no less, in 2012. And they do this every day. So if you all are ever in London, you have plenty of options. So this is where I went. All right, so just a couple things to call out here, and then we'll look out the menu. Hello, Christopher Williams with the hand claps. Hello, sir. So, Quiet Storm, let me know what crumpets are. I feel like I should know, but I don't know what they are. Okay. All right, so let's take a look at the placement here, just so you all can see. And okay, so they have different locations. So I went to the Diamond Jubilee Tea Salon in London, so you all will see. One thing that you'll notice here, when you go to afternoon tea and you select your tea, you're going to have a menu. So a menu booklet of the type of tea that you want. Some places will let you choose multiple, but usually they want you to pick one because you are getting loose leaf tea. This is not tea bags, but there's nothing wrong with that. I have them at home, but proper tea is served loose. So they will actually steep it and you get your own pitcher brought to the table. And if you notice here, there's a strainer over the cup. So you'll notice when they pour your tea inside here, you're going to have your hot water and your loose leaf tea. So usually what happens is they will bring the tea to the table and they may tell you at Chateau Alon, when I went to the winery, they may tell you wait about 3 minutes just to let it steep in the pitcher in the hot water before you pour it. Okay, so if you get a strainer, that's part of what we learn in etiquette. Don't be confused about it. That's why, because you don't want the actual tea leaves in your cup, and then you remove the strainer off to the side and then you would enjoy your tea. So you can see this is the tower, the three tier tower. So you can see for your standard afternoon tea, notice the sandwiches. It is proper etiquette if you're going to host tea that the sandwiches are cut in rectangles with the crust off and a very thin filling. The reason why is because you are supposed to eat them with your fingers. So it is proper etiquette. If you are served something that is a finger food, you should eat with your fingers. The only time it's not proper etiquette is when you pick up something with your fingers that you're supposed to use cutlery for. But tea, sandwiches, and scones are finger food. Okay, so your sandwiches have a very thin filling because they're little like finger sandwiches, and you take maybe like 2 or 3 bites. You don't want them too full. Hello, Marissa. You don't want them too full so that when you bite down, if you bite down and it's too full, the filling will ooze out and mess up your beautiful tea dress. So light filling, crust off, soft bread, rectangular cut. I know, right, y'all? All right, so as you can see, and if y'all want to see the screen, Facebook or YouTube. All right, so you can see here the first course or the first level is always going to be your sandwiches, and there are going to be some that are typical or standard to English tea service. So you're always going to have like some type of salmon and dill. You're always going to have like a vegetarian option, which is a cucumber sandwich. Very English is they call it coronation chicken. You can think of that as what we would call like a chicken salad. So chunks of white meat chicken with like mayo and mustard, that type of thing. And then depending on where you go, this is really an opportunity for the chef or the pastry chef to explore their own creativity. So you'll have the standards and then you may have more. And if you have any dietary restrictions when you're seated, the host will ask you if you have any dietary restrictions, and then they can remove that from your from your serving. And again, if you like something, you can ask for more. They will actually come out and ask if you would like anything else. Okay, so that's your first course. And then you can see here the second tier is the scones. So you can think of those as the sweet biscuits. Sometimes they're plain, sometimes they have berries in them, whatnot. We talked about this before. What does the quiet storm say? Crumpets are English griddle cakes made from flour, milk, water, and yeast, eaten for breakfast or tea. Popular in the UK, Canada, New Zealand, Africa, and Australia. Well, kind sir, I learned something tonight. I did not know that. And no, I did not have crumpets, but I will put that on my list because I hope to go back to London. Um, I will put that on my list and look for them. But no, I didn't have crumpets, not that I'm aware of. All right, so to eat the scones, we've talked about this before. You take them and then you open them up, kind of like a biscuit has a natural groove around the center. You would simply open them by hand, and then you can either do the clotted cream and then the jam, or the jam or the clotted cream, depending on where you are from. In the UK, they have a preference. I like it all. And then you would actually break off the portion that you're going to eat and pop it into your mouth. Um, you don't close it back like a sandwich and eat it like that. That's not the proper etiquette. But the scones are great. Y'all know I'm greedy and I love the breads. And then the pastries are at the top. You can see it's a variety of different delicacies that whatever the pastry chef has made for the day, they're made fresh in-house. Or the best tea places, they make their pastries in-house. So this is very standard, this 3-tier set. And then I see here, look at their condiments are on a tier. So that's the clotted cream. Think of that as like an unsalted butter, your jam, and I'm not sure what that is. Oh, marmalade, I'm sure. All right, so I won't read this, but you all can see if you really love Fortnum and Mason, you can order online. It is a store. You will see some of the store in my pictures. But if you wanted this beautiful set of crockery, you could order it, or you could get their house tea or anything delivered directly to you. Maybe one of these days when I'm feeling fancy, I will. Wow, doesn't that look great? All right, so there's the tea salon. Let's take a look. Oh, I need to follow them on Instagram. I think I am. All right, so they're opened every day, and you all can see the hours and more about it. Let's see if we can see the menu, because we're here for the snacks and you all want to know what to expect. So, hello shaping. All right, afternoon tea. Diamond Jubilee Tea Salon. That's the one that I went to. Let's see. So we read about that. Our menu. Okay. Oof, look at it. So they have afternoon tea. So we will take a look at the menu. Then they have savory afternoon tea. And then they have high tea. And then they have vegetarian afternoon tea. And then afternoon tea made without gluten and drinks. Oh my goodness. Y'all, look at this already. I'm feeling fancy already. Look at all of the options. So clearly you can see if you have any dietary restrictions, don't be concerned. You can get it made just the way you want, at least at Fortnum and Mason. All right, so let us continue. Let's start with the basic, and then I'll move over to high tea because honestly, I can't remember what I had, but let's just check the afternoon tea menu. Oh, okay, it opens up in another tab. So let me stop, and then I'll open up the other tab so you all can see. We'll take a look at the basic menu. All right. Share. All right. All right. So let me make this bigger. Oh, to start, may we suggest a glass of Fortnum's Blanc de Blanc. All right. So you can get your champagne if you would like. Okay. So basically, this is the standard afternoon tea. So we'll just go through this quickly. So for the sandwiches, that's going to be on the first layer of the tea tray. Hello, Nika. Thank you for being here. I'm on Facebook and YouTube if y'all want to see the screen share. All right. So you can get your coronation chicken. We talked about that. Think of that like a chicken salad. And then Cotswold. egg mayonnaise. Think of that as an egg salad sandwich, okay? So some of the names are a little bit different, but that's your egg salad sandwich. And then Suffolk cured ham with English mustard, so that would be a ham sandwich. And then this one is very standard, cucumber with mint, cream, and cheese. So that's your vegetarian option if you like the sliced cucumber sandwiches, very English. And then they always have a fish. This one is smoked trout. I've also seen salmon. Some so this is going to be on the first layer. And then on the second layer of the tier, they're going to have plain and fruit scones. So plain scones would be just, your pastry or your biscuit. And then the ones with fruit might have little raisins or different pieces of, berries or something in them. And then you can get all of the jams. You all will see my pictures. They have strawberry preserve. They have their in-house strawberry preserve and different seasonal favorites. So if it's like fall time, they may have pumpkin. I don't know. I'm making it up. And then of course, my English teacher, my etiquette teacher says it's not proper tea if they don't have clotted cream. Clotted cream is very English, in my opinion. It's fine. To me, it's like a smooth, spreadable, unsalted butter. So it doesn't really have like a lot of taste on its own, but it does add the creaminess. But apparently, that's the proper English tea. So that's what English clotted cream, that's what they say. And then your third tier, the patisserie. So this would be your pastries, your desserts at the top. And it says our delicious patisseries are inspired by seasonal ingredients, each one honed to perfection over time by our chefs. So usually the dessert menu, you'll see a variety. And this is at Fortnum's, and it's also at any place that you go. If they have an in-house pastry chef, they let them do whatever they want. So it's kind of like a surprise when you get your tray. All right, let's see if there's anything else here. Okay, so you're going to get a pot of tea, and you can see the price. You all want to know. So 75 pounds per person. So yes, it is an investment. For me, it was about the experience. It was my first time having proper tea in London. You all can look at the pictures when I show you and you let me know. Now, again, this is pounds, not dollars. But when I've been to tea at the Waldorf Astoria or St. Regis or Chateau Elan, you're going to pay about $89. So just budget about $100 for this afternoon experience if that's something that you're interested in. All right, let us continue. All right, so what else is on the menu? So you get your pot of tea. Oh, you can get I've never even heard of that. First, we have baristas, but you can have a tierista if you want, or you can add a cocktail. So they have different things you can add on. Okay, and then the calories. All right, so that is your standard tea. Let me go to the next menu because I want to see what I had so you all can see what you think so far. We're going to pull up, I think the next menu is the savory menu, which is what I opted for. So I want to show you all that. Hello, lipscologist. All right, so let's close this menu and we'll go to savory afternoon tea. All right, so that's opening up in another tab. Let me open it up and share for you. I'm on Facebook and YouTube if y'all want to see. All right, share screen, afternoon tea, and let's make it bigger. Okay, so far the finger sandwiches are the same. The scones, oh, okay. So you can have a different choice if you like more savory than fruit. You have tomato and rosemary options. So think of these as your biscuit options. Mayfield, cheddar, and thyme. So you can get it with onion chutney and chive cream cheese. Okay, I'm looking. I don't see what I had. I don't know what this. Oh, savory. Okay. Sorry, y'all. This is a little fancy for me, but they're pastries. If you want more savory instead of sweet, you could have this. I did not have it, so I'm not going to spend too much time here. I'm looking for what I had. But basically, what it's telling you all is there is your standard afternoon tea is going to be tea and sweets. But if for people who don't like sweets, you can have more of a savory menu. So that is good to know. Let's click on high tea and see what they have there. Maybe we can find what I had. Let's try. Maybe the third time is a charm. All right. And all right, make sure that I'm sharing. Okay, let's see if we have it here. Okay, this is what I had. All right, so for the high tea, remember I shared with you all for your standard afternoon tea, you're going to have sandwiches, scones, and desserts. But for high tea, they replace the sandwiches, which are finger sandwiches, room temperature, with a hot meal. A smaller portion, think of it like an appetizer, but you would have that warm meal instead of the sandwiches, then your scones, and then your dessert. So that's what I opted for with the champagne. Hello, baby doll. Thank you so much for being here. You can find me on Facebook and YouTube if you want to see. All right, so here are your choices. So you can have a classic Scotch egg. I've seen that before, but it escapes me what it is. This is what I opted for. I always ask the waitress, is there anything? Oh, I'm not even sharing. I always ask the waitress, is there anything that's unique to this location, anything that's a specialty? And she recommended the lobster omelet. God, with truffle. When I tell y'all, when I tell you, oh, you'll see it in my pictures. Let's continue through the menu. All right, so for your high tea, Victoria lobster omelet, which is what I got. Then you can have fish. So lemon sole. Sole is a fish with champagne cream and caviar. Welsh rarebit, which is rabbit, with oven-dried tomato and caramelized shallots. Leek and Gruyere souffle with Waldorf salad. So there's your vegetarian option. And then for our gentlemen, you can get a beef Wellington with lobster sauce. So I would love to know in the chat, are you all, for those of you all who would do high tea, which of these entrees speak to you? What would you like to have? All right, so you can see the rest of the same. You have your plain and fruit scones, the jams and creams, and then the pastries. So I'll leave this here for a second. You all let me know. If you're going to have high tea, I would love to know which one of these you're going with. And in the meantime, I am going to pull up my pictures so we can see my experience. Hello, Serene. Thank you so much for being here. And thank you all for being here. I appreciate you so, so much. All right, let me take this down. Quiet Storm is having the lobster omelet. It was so good. So good. Oh my God, y'all. So good. I'm so greedy. First of all, mac and cheese. And it was, some people like a dry mac and cheese, some people like a wet mac and cheese. It was creamy. It was a little bit on the wet side, but it had chunks of lobster, not lobster flavor, real chunk of lobster. And then it was, you know how mac and cheese kind of has that like not burnt, but kind of, crust on the top. And then it had a big piece of like truffle. Let's go to the pictures. Let's just go to the pictures. All right, everyone. So you've seen the menu, and I'm going to take you all through my experience. And you know me on my dining documentaries, I take you through everything, okay? So sit back and relax and enjoy. And thank you for being here. All right. All right, so Fortnum and Mason. So this is me in my little Airbnb. I just thought this was funny. I didn't have a belt for this dress. This is actually the strap for the purse. So this is my little Kate Spade purse, and it had like a shoulder strap, and then it had a crossbody. So I put it on as a belt, but I didn't like the little buckle here. So what I did is I turned it around, improvising. And so this is my purse strap, and I made it a belt, trying to be fashionable. This is just a Walmart, I think this is a Pioneer Woman dress, but it ended up being very nice for the occasion. So this is me in London in my Airbnb. I'm on my way out, just trying to look pretty for tea. It was cold in London, so unfortunately I did have like old lady tights on because this was a summer dress, but it was not summer weather. So I got a trench coat, London Fog. Well, it's not London Fog brand, but this is, oh, let me go back. This is pretty much how I moved around London. I had on my sundresses and then I did put a scarf on. So I had to buy something to keep me a little bit warm. So that did the trick. Unfortunately, London is just cold like that. It's just, I'm from Atlanta. I'm from the South, y'all. Okay. So this is my, it looks bad now that I'm looking at it. It's a little bit of the London hood. So I was in a part of London called Whitechapel. So I was there to do some recording. So I just picked an Airbnb that was close to the recording studio. Never been. The last time I was in London, I was there for a tour. So I stayed with a group. So it was like a fourth floor apartment owned by a man and his wife, no elevator. So I come down the stairs and then that's the corner. So I basically Ubered everywhere. So I just wanted to show you all the view once I came out of my apartment. Let me see if there's any sound on this that's worth anything. Not really. Okay, so you all can see, it's London, it's the city. They were doing construction across the way. So right here, this little building with this awning, kind of nondescript, is my apartment. And I don't know if I gave you all a tour of my London Airbnb yet. So if you all want me to do another one of these streams with more behind the scenes in London, I will. So you can see lots of graffiti. Of course, some chicken shops there. A very diverse area. I was close to this bus stop, but I didn't take the bus for transportation. I Ubered everywhere. So you can see here, the bus stop, and then across the street there was a McDonald's within walking distance. So this is where I would call my Uber and just kind of hang out at the street corner. All right. So now I'm in my Uber and we are on our way to Fortnum and Mason. So I'm just taking pictures and some video from the Uber car. I just love the architecture of different buildings. Like I said, being in America or the South, especially, everything is new. So I love when I see old. Okay, he's jamming. He's jamming. I don't know what this building is, but I just thought it was beautiful. I love the old architecture. So you can see more there. Okay, so the Corinthia Hotel, very nice. So we are on our way. I have no idea where we're going. I'm just in the Uber on the way to Fortnum and Mason. Now, one thing that I will say, I did not know about this, and it actually was a little bit stressful. So there was a strike, or what they call a protest. So underneath London, just like in every major city, Atlanta, Chicago, New York, San Francisco, they have public transportation, which is like the subway, the train. In London, they call it the tube. And I have been on the tube before, but I didn't. I was on when I was with a group, but by myself, I Ubered everywhere. And on this particular day that I was going to Fortnum and Mason, there was a strike, which means the subway was closed. And they actually have these like planned demonstrations. So it's on the calendar. Everybody knows about it. There's not going to be any subway service that day. Well, that means that if people can't go underground, everybody's either walking or driving, and the traffic was horrendous. I actually, y'all know I have three channels: the cooking channel, this etiquette channel, and then the wives club. And I actually had a wives club collab with Melanie King after this tea, and I gave myself plenty of time, excuse me, but it took 2 hours to get back, and it should have taken 30 minutes. So I had to do my collab from the car. Oh, so frustrating. Who do we have here? Marisha Dean, my first time seeing you. No, not my first time, but hello, sweetheart. Thank you for coming in with the flowers. All right, so let us continue. So once you start seeing people walking, you'll see the protest. Hello, Don Parazza. Thank you so much for being here. If you would like to see the screen share, I'm on Facebook and YouTube talking about afternoon tea in London. Okay, so we're on our way to Fortnum and Mason, and we're passing by this Corinthia Hotel. I'm just looking out the window. You can see the iconic telephone booths. You all can see everything here, doing a little bit of story time. All right, so you all can see here. So the workers are protesting, and where I was, we didn't have this. So the closer I get to Fortnum and Mason, I am like, what in the world is going on? So again, remember, I was told to be in the suburbs of London. I was in an area called, excuse me, Whitechapel, which is in East London. So think of any major city. I was in the suburbs. So Fortnum and Mason, where I wanted to go for tea, was more in the city. So I'm approaching the city and it's just regular. And the closer I get to my destination, the traffic is bumper to bumper. And I see all these people walking around with flags and signs and shirts. And I'm like, what in the world is going on? I'm just here for proper tea. It was a mess, y'all. All right, so this is just me still in the Uber. You can see we're approaching. There's any kind of busy the strike right here, is this them? I mean the strike is everywhere. I mean, you know, if there's any kind of busy all right, so you can hear me asking the Uber driver, is this the strike? And he's saying that the strike is everywhere. Hello, Queen and Anna. Because just like any major city, the subway runs throughout the city, the tube. So it's underground. You come up, and wherever there were those, I don't know, what do they call them? Subway stops or exits? Y'all, I'm in the suburbs. I don't know this stuff. But when you get off the train and you take those stairs to come to ground level, that's where people were protesting at every subway stop. Let us continue. But I'm not going to be discouraged. Okay, so just more pictures, beautiful pictures of London. What is this? Canada is actually, or was, a British colony as well as the US. So you're going to see a lot of stuff there. And this is us approaching, and you see these people walking and protesting with their signs and whatnot. And I'm just like, can everybody just be normal? They were clogging up the streets. It was just bumper to bumper traffic. But what are you going to do? The world doesn't revolve around me. So, all right. I was just trying. Teachers protesting too. Schools just want to have. So I don't know much about. Everybody wants some more money, right? I see. My goodness. So I don't know much about English culture. I don't know if they have like a planned demonstration day and everybody who has a grievance, come on out. But hallelujah, we made it. So let me zoom in so you all can see here Fortnum and Mason. He wasn't able to get me all the way to, turn in front. He literally had to like, okay, it's over there. You're going to have to walk a block. And by this time I was like, it is okay. We made it through the protest. Let me go in and have my tea. So this is the outside of the building. You can see here they have the electric bikes, they have their vehicle. And again, this is a department store with several levels, and I'll show you all some pictures from inside the department store as well. And so the tea salon is, I think, on level 4, but they have everything. It's a beautiful department store. So let me take you all inside. So I get out of the Uber and I walk up, and they have a doorman. So I asked if I could take a picture with him. I know, but we don't really have this in the US, or at least not where I shop, Walmart. So it was kind of very English to see the top hat and, hello, madame, and get the door for you and, help you inside. They have this at a lot of the hotels and the restaurants and the shops there. So I did take a picture with the doorman. So I finally made it. All right, I don't know. All right, I'm walking inside. So beautiful. So you see, I walk in and I come in. So there's some stairs to the left and to the right. So you can see you walk in, and the first thing you see is this beautiful pastry case. So I'm on my way to the elevators because I have tea reservations, but you can see here, it's already very much a throwback department store. Just for those of us who love sweets, just beautiful pastries. But I'm on my way to tea, so let us continue. Let me see if there's any sound. But red carpet, you can see the color scheme. All right. All right, so I'm making my way to the elevator. Oh, did I go so fast? Okay, there I am in the elevator, but you all can see I'm going up to level 4. So I'm just showing you the store. They have everything. So you can see I didn't take too much time in the store because you saw their website. You can buy whatever you want and they'll ship it to you. I was on my way to the elevators. Okay, so now I've made it to the 4th floor. Kia says, nice picture with the doorman, Maggie. I would have asked, you would have asked too, especially with him in a top hat. I know, y'all, I'm just such a girl. Like, who, oh, I, let me just have my moment. I mean, like I said, so much stuff here in the US is unisex. It really is nice to have lady things and gentleman things. Maybe I'm just old. I know I'm old. I'm 47, but it was just like this way, madame. Can I get your coat, madame? Let me get it. I loved it. So yeah, in a top hat, come on. And he was very kind and helped me. And when I was on my way out and I was waiting for my Uber, he brought a chair for me to sit down. So, I mean, it was lovely. It was lovely. But thank you, Kia. All right, let's continue. All right, so I have made it up to the 4th floor. I came in on the street and I went straight to the 4th floor because I wanted to have tea. I knew I would come back down and see the shops later. So the elevator has opened. So this is the elevator right here. The elevator has opened. You can see we're on the 4th floor, and in front of me is the hostess stand. So I'm going to tell them, I'm here for my reservations. Y'all know my name is Margaret. So it's like reservations for Margaret. Maggie is my childhood nickname. And I'm looking over to the right, and it's beautiful. Now I've come from the suburbs with the graffiti, and I'm just like, my inner girl is just squealing. I see the tablecloths. I hear the music. You can take the stairs or the elevator. Ah, there's the tea. So they have a piano playing. So I just took a little spin around for you all. So you can see this is the stairs. You can see a little bit of that English design, very ornate. So you can take the stairs to the 4th floor or the elevator. And then this tea salon was opened by the Queen. So of course I wanted to take a picture of that for you all. And then to the left, they had some dining areas over there. And then in front, these are the canisters of tea. So when you pick your tea, they're going to actually scoop out actual tea leaves from these canisters and make your own pot for you. And I'm waiting. You see, everybody's got these heavy coats on. I don't think I got a picture of the piano in this one, but they had the menus there. So I'm checking in at the hostess stand. Look at the beautiful seats. And I guess okay, so this is tea salon. Depending on what service you're getting. We looked at the menus, we looked at the PDF menus, but it's hard for me to read, but let's just say that's afternoon tea, savory tea, and high tea. So depending on what you are interested in eating, depending on what your reservation is, they will bring the menu for you. All right, so let us continue. All right, so I'm checking in. Let me see, I have another video here. Ah, the piano man. So I just took another spin around so you all can see. All right, so there's the tea salon. So they're getting ready to come get me for my table. But they did have the piano man playing the whole time. So it was nice. All right, so this lady is walking me to my seat. Good afternoon. All right, so basically they're taking my coat, and I did love that because it was cold, and y'all, I'm from the South. We wear coats maybe 1 or 2 months out of the year, but you will notice that in more northern or colder climates that they have a coat check, and so that's what she was asking me if I wanted to leave my coat in the cloakroom. Y'all, the kids out here. And I believe I did. So they'll take your coat from you and they'll actually give you a little ticket. So you don't have all that bulk with you. You can sit down and enjoy the show or enjoy your meal. And then you take your ticket when you're done to the coat room and get your coat back. And so I did like that service. So it's less that you have to carry. When I went to the Royal Albert Hall, the same thing. All right, let's continue. All right, so I asked the waitress to take a picture of me. I was very excited. So I sat down. Hello, sweet peas, Ma. So I sat down for my tea and I just happened to be matching the menu. I loved it. Beautiful tea setting. I have my cup and saucer. We talked about the etiquette. The saucer stays on the table unless you're standing up. I have my fork and knife for my food. And then you'll see this fork here is your dessert, your cake fork. And then I have my little ticket here for my things. All right, let's see. Simple on the table, a little lamp, some little roses. I believe this is the sugar. And then this was a table for two. I was by myself, so I decided to sit here so I could see out. But if you were dining with others, you would be sitting across from each other. All right. All right, so she took several from several angles. So you all see Maggie's there having a great time. Okay, so I think just my coat check. I'm just looking at this. My afternoon tea. Okay. Thank you. Lovely. Mhm. Oh, y'all, I'm feeling so fancy just remembering this. I'm sorry, I'm such a girl. Okay, so the first thing they do, like any restaurant, they're going to bring you water. The water in London was great. It was this bottled mineral water. So they brought me some water just to fill my glass before I took a look at the menu if I had any questions. And one thing that I'll call out here so you all can see, you'll notice the fork. Okay, so the fork and the knife on the both sides of the menu are standard fork and knife. I had never seen a fork like this before. Maybe you all have, but this is actually called a cake fork, and that was my first time seeing that. But that is for your dessert course, so you can kind of cut into it and then eat. So that was my first time. Jessie says it's lovely. Oh, thank you, sweetheart. Let's keep going. All right, so we had our water. All right, so then I took some videos and some pictures for you all. So yes, it was absolutely lovely. And I even love, like, look at this, look at their, what's it called? Silver, and it has Fortnum and Mason on it. And we might have talked about this, or maybe I took it in one of my classes, just a little etiquette history for you all. In France, when they serve when they set your place setting, if you ever go and the silverware, like the knife, fork is face down, wealthy families from the past would monogram or personalize their silverware, and so it was a way of showing the name. And so I thought that was nice. They had Fortnum and Mason on the knife as well. All right, let us continue. So beautiful, beautiful place setting. I'm feeling quite lovely. All right, so I'm taking a look. This is my menu. um, So I think at this point I have selected the tea that I want, and then they bring my tray. So I think she's explaining what I have here. Now, since it's just me, they brought one of everything. And like I said, you can ask for more, but they usually start with one of everything for every person on the table. And then they asked me if I wanted champagne. But of course, I wanted champagne. So I'm here to celebrate. So they poured me a beautiful glass of champagne with my meal. And I enjoyed that with my tea. Ooh, okay, wow. They brought everything. So I'll go over this again so you all can see, but I'll unmute it and then I'll pause it and show a few things. Inside, for your scones, you have a fruit scone and a plain scone. And to accompany your scones, you have some cottage cream, blueberry jam, and lemon curd. Oh, wonderful. Enjoy. Thank you so much. Yes. All right. Oh, wonderful. May I ask what this fork is for? The cake fork. Okay, perfect. All right, thank you. Okay, so I'll pause here and just explain a few things. So I know it doesn't look like a lot, and that's fine. Usually, when you go to tea service, they bring one of everything for everyone who's in your party. So if you're out with, if there's you and three other girlfriends or two couples out, there'll be four of everything. So the amount of food that you will get at first will be for everybody to get one of everything. Then, if there's something that you like, you can always request more, or the waiter will come back if they notice the sandwiches are gone. They'll either ask if they can replenish the sandwiches or just bring them. And again, we talked about proper etiquette, making sure everybody has had one of everything before you ask for extra. So if mine looks a little light, it's because I was there by myself. Jesse says delectable desserts, yummy. Absolutely. All right, let's continue. So that's the plain scone. So you can see it's dusted with a little bit of powder sweetener, but it looks like a biscuit. And then that's the fruit scone, which is basically the biscuit with, I don't know, raisins or something in there. Excuse me. And then the clotted cream, which is in this container here. So that's the one that I said it's like their spreadable unsalted butter. And then we say blueberry, but they say blueberry jam. And then I believe at the bottom, is the marmalade. So they also bring a tower of your spreads. So here at Fortnum and Mason's, it's a tower. Some places they may bring it in a little tray. Every place is different, but I love the presentation. It was lovely. All right, let's see what else. So since it was just me, everything kind of came out together. All right. So they're bringing my champagne. They asked if I wanted it. I said absolutely. So you all can just see as she's pouring, they have different tables there. You can see the color scheme, beautiful pastels, very English garden. I loved it, but different places have different decor. All right, so this is my lobster mac and cheese. I know from the outside it's kind of like, what is that? But it was served kind of in this long handle skillet type thing. Second, y'all. Long handle skillet. And so this was cooked. So this is macaroni and cheese with lobster on the inside. And then on top, these are truffles. And truffles are a very rare, like mushroom, very earthy, very savory. I thought it balanced the lobster very well. Truffle is kind of overpowering for me, so a little goes a long way, but I thought it was great in the mac and cheese. All right, let's see. All right, so there's just a little view around. So she set my glass down and then she topped up my beverage, and I had to ask her about the fork. And it's okay if you don't know, if you get something on the table and you don't know, just ask. All right, so then I took a still picture. You all can see the setting here. Then yes, the desserts. She explained to me what they were, but it's basically whatever the chef wants to make. So just some pictures for you all of my tea setting, so you can see everything here. More pictures for you. So I'm going to start with my lobster mac and cheese because, again, I ended up going for high tea, so no finger sandwiches for me. Oh, just beautiful. All right, so I did get a picture of me going into a video of me going into my mac and cheese. Ah, the tea is finally coming. Yes, because they have to actually brew it. So you can see here, she asked me if I would like for her to pour it, and I said, yes, please. So they give you your own pitcher, and then you have your tea. And I'm sure I have questions because y'all know how I am. We'll replay this with sound. But funnily enough, the tea was the last thing to come out. So the high tea, the hot meal comes instead of the sandwiches for the. Okay, understood. Beautiful. Please pour my tea. Oh, that looks lovely. Wonderful. And when you have the high tea, is the order to eat the hot food first and then work your way up? Absolutely. Yes, thank you. Would you take a picture? All right, so you all can see Maggie's doing the most because I want to know. I don't know these things, so I ask. Shout out to the Fresco water. You know who you are. Um, I'm going to go ahead and get a beverage here. But again, you all, I've studied a lot, but you can hear me asking questions because I don't know everything. And sometimes when you're in those environments, it's like, okay, what is the proper way to do this? I know when you're doing the standard tea, you start with the sandwiches. So just so you all know, y'all learned it, here, if you go to high tea and you're offered an entree, you would eat the entree first. And then you heard her say, and then you work your way up. All right. So let's continue. She's pouring my tea. Oh, I can't even remember what I ordered, y'all. Everything was good. Why do I look like that? Okay, so I think you heard me asking her, would you take my picture? So I had a picture taken when I first sat down with just the menu, and then I wanted one more picture once I had everything. So you all can see here, in my opinion, it's not very heavy food, but it is a lot of food. And, of course, because what do we call it here in the States? Like, unlimited refills. If you wanted more, you could ask for more. But we've often talked about here, it's not about getting full. It's really about the experience. So you can see how this originated with ladies getting together and having snacks or whatnot. But if I were with others, you really just enjoy the time with your company. Yes, you can go with your gentleman friend. There were men there, there were kids there, there were, of course, ladies there. But just like to bring you all these experiences. All right, let's see what else. All right, so you all see the place setting before I dig in. I've got my tea, I've got my champagne, I've got my lobster mac and cheese, I've got my scones, I've got my desserts, and all of my spreads. All right, she must have taken several pictures. Okay, so now I'm working my way into the lobster mac and cheese. You all can see the texture here. It's nice and creamy. This may be a bit wet for some of y'all, but it did have some beautiful pieces of lobster in there with that truffle on top. It was so I'm stomping now. Get it together, Maggie. Y'all, when I tell you this is heaven for me. I'm sorry. This is heaven for me. I don't need big portions, but I want everything. I want to taste everything. And it was so good. I'm so glad that I tried it. Kia said it looks so good, rich and creamy. Y'all, that mac and cheese, and look, I'm from the South. I've had good mac and cheese. So, you know, it was lobster and truffle. Just take me now. Ah, yes, Jesse says quality versus quantity. Exactly, exactly. So I took my time. It was kind of like the texture of like scrambled eggs, but it was pasta and it had pieces of lobster and truffle. Y'all, it was excellent. Highly recommended. And I'm glad I got that because I could have gotten the finger sandwiches, but I can get that anywhere. All right, so this picture didn't come out well, but I'm showing you the scones. So I've broken it in half. I've put the clotted cream on the bottom and then the blueberry preserves. So you all can see that. And of course, just like at your hotel, they're going to give you the little jars. I had one that was lemon curd, marmalade. You see how it goes. So after the lobster mac and cheese, then I moved to the scones. And then after the scones, I was ready for dessert. Who do we have here? Luke Casely. She says, did someone say food a bit late? Hello, all. You're never late. This is our twice a month teachable moments with Maggie, etiquette and elegance. I'm sharing with you all my high tea experience in London. So it's a little bit dining documentary, a little bit etiquette. But yes, I am here for you all every other Wednesday. All are welcome, and you can come late, leave early, or multitask. I'm just glad that you're here. We got more to see. So we've made it up to the third course, which is our desserts. And again, the pastry chef is going to give you whatever they want to create. So we have I can't even remember what they were. I ate everything. Um, but you can see here, this looks like some little eclair with some flowers, a little tart with some berries and crumble. This was some type of cake on like a crispy cracker, this little mini faux apple, a lemon. It was just everything. All right, so I got a video of me finally using my cake fork, first time using the cake fork. So I'm enjoying my dessert. All right. So I finished my cake and then now I'm cutting into this little apple thing. So it's like a gel on the outside and then it's like a cake on the inside and then a gel on the inside. Y'all, I don't know. I'm having a good time. I'm tasting everything. I took a bite of the raspberry in the back. I didn't really like that too much, but you can see I'm enjoying myself. And then, and then, as if it weren't enough, who do we have here? Life's Burrito. Am I making desserts? No, I am recapping an experience that I had in London at Fortnum and Mason. I enjoyed afternoon tea. It was actually high tea, and this is what I was served. Marie coming through with the flowers. Hello, my dear. All right, you all. As if that weren't enough. So for high tea, I had the hot entree, then the scones, then the pastries, and then they actually offered dessert after that. Why? I was so like bloated, swollen. I ate everything, y'all. So of course, like I do, I asked if there was like a signature dish or dessert that they have, and she suggested the pistachio cake with rose frosting. Can you get any more English? So of course, I had pistachio cake with rose frosting after the pastries. Oh my God, y'all, I was so bad. All right. So it was a moist cake with, pistachio nuts inside, and then the frosting was like a very delicate rose infused frosting. Y'all, it was so good. When I tell you, Kia says LOL and my Southern country sauce. You thought it was a candied apple. Y'all, I didn't know what that stuff was either. I just took little bites of everything. I like 99.9% of everything. The little raspberry tart or whatever that was more tart than it was sweet, and I like sweet. So I don't think I finished that. But yeah, I love that. And it just speaks to the creativity of these pastry chefs. Y'all know I'm a cooker and not a baker. Baking requires precision, and you have to have a steady hand. Y'all know I'm not. You've already told me I can't draw. But just to be able to make those type of desserts and serve them, it was beautiful. Just the textures, like how do you do that? I don't know. How do you do that? Clearly, I'm not good at it. Life's Burrito says that's amazing. They all look delicious. Yes, absolutely. I can bake. I bake from time to time. I did an applesauce cake, one of my low calorie cakes, but the detail that it goes into something this presentable, I'm not good at that. All right, so I enjoyed my rose cake. I was so full, y'all. By the time I had the tea, the mac and cheese, the champagne, the scones, and the pastries, I think I took one bite and then I asked for a box. And I did ask for scones. Okay, this is probably poor etiquette. You know about this doggy bag thing. It is poor etiquette. So really, I should have just left. But the table next to me, I saw them bring a box for them with extra stuff. So now I'm looking like I'm going back to my Airbnb. And I tried to do like one meal a day while I was in London, or at least like one nice meal a day, and then just kind of like fruit the rest. And so I did. And they had this beautiful to go box. Hello, Linda, with the love notes. Thank you. Kia says everything looks so good. Life's Burrito says, hi, T. Can you explain a little more? I want to visit London. Yeah, we did in the beginning. I'll see what else I can circle back to. But in a nutshell, there's a history behind it. But high tea, you get an entree. And as opposed to the finger sandwiches. I had a wonderful time in London. So you all can see their boxes. It's actually this little foldable Fortnum and Mason. So they brought me 2 extra scones, which are their sweet biscuits, a plain one and then a fruit one, and you put it inside the box, and then the little flap comes up. So you have a beautiful little, I won't call it a souvenir, but you have something to go. And yes, I did go to the ladies. You all know I always give you the behind the scenes view. No one was in there, but I know you want to see because I want to see. All right, so on my way, you can see here again more of the English art, the color scheme, the almost Tiffany blue and the wood. What was really nice, so of course, Fortnum and Mason has their own soaps, but I notice here the beautiful washcloths. At the top, and then this little drop box after you wash your hands. So you can see, the decoration, the wood paneling, and whatnot. So I just did a little spin around so you all can see. All right, and then coming back out after everything's done, I have my little to-go box, beautiful canisters of tea, a nice waiting area, and getting ready to leave, picking up my coat. Got my little Fortnum& and Mason box. Thought that was super cute. Yes, I have my little jam in there. So, had a few things to take with me back to my Airbnb. The piano is playing. Okay, so now I have left, and I'll tell you all what I did. So, and this is kind of fast, so I'll pause it. Okay. So for those of you all that were with me, Fortnum and Mason is an actual department store. The fourth floor is where they have the tea salon. So when I came in on the ground floor, I went straight up to the fourth floor and had my tea because I had reservations. Now on my way down, I thought I had time, so I stopped at each floor and I just popped out of the elevator and took a little lap around and took some pictures and video for you all so you could see. I didn't shop, I didn't buy anything else. I was on my way back to my Airbnb to do the Wives Club, and I got caught up in that protest traffic. But I just wanted to show you all a little bit of the store. So the tea is actually done. I had an amazing experience. I just got a few more pictures left, and I'll show you all the rest of the store. We have Tracy here. She says, hello, everyone. Life's Burrito says, so nice. Looks like you had fun. I had an amazing time. I would love to go back. All right. So I believe this is the third floor. So in the Fortnum and Mason, hello, Heavy is the Crown. Thank you for being here. If you want to see, we're on Facebook and YouTube. So you can see the fragrances in London. The fragrances, just this floor alone, you can see the perfumery. It was just, I was overwhelmed. So I've popped out. Let's see if there's any sound here. So I literally just step off the elevator, and this is the third floor, and you can just see everything they have here. I don't even know some of these brands, y'all probably know, but it was just beautiful. They have some exclusives here that you can only get in London, very much like Harrods. So I just did a lap around and then got back on the elevator. So let's say that is the third floor. Then I got back on and I went one more floor down for you. All right, so now I've come to the second floor. I popped out. This looks like women's clothing. Oh no, more fragrance? I can't tell y'all. It's a lot. I'm not really a department store girl, so it's a little overwhelming for me, but it was beautiful. But you can see here just some pictures. Again, everybody's in these coats because it's cold. So this is another floor. They had the china or the crockery, some books. I should have gotten one, but I didn't. But they have some tea books, any souvenir that you want. They have an ice cream parlor back here, so I am going to show you all that. Very English garden crockery. Real Bravado Network. Let me put you in the banner. We have a stream sponsor. Hello, Mr. Dagger. You know what? You just continue to be such a blessing to me. Thank you. Thank you so, so much. Ah, wow. Fortnum friend, Mason. You all, please check out the Real Bravado Network. He has sponsored not only a stream, he sponsored the whole week, the Real Bravado Network. He's a content creator and he has a YouTube channel where he talks about relationships in the community and other topics. And he sends a $5 super chat saying, just for being Maggie. What can I say? What can I say? Hello. Hello, hello, hello. All right, so let's see if we can get you at a ticker. Okay, thank you so much, Real Bravado Network. And I think you had one in the beginning too. I'm a little bit out of it. Thank you, thank you, thank you. Jesse says it's nice. Yes, okay, back to, you can see here um, a little bit more of the English decor, you know, very flowery, just very different, very, what I would say is feminine. I love it, but you know, it's just very English. So you can see here, it's like a proper department store. I mean, look at the gentleman there in the suit. Now, they don't have a dress code because it is a store. I mean, you can see here people are shopping, pushing their strollers. I did dress up for tea, but you can notice everybody's wearing a coat. So I would love to go back to London when it's warmer, but I'm just showing you all a little bit around. Some more lettuce serveware. This is a little eclectic for me, but hey, who am I? Who am I to judge? I'm making my way to the ice cream because y'all know I am greedy. All right, so let's go to the ice cream parlor. So I'll make my way to the ice cream cake and they have ice cream case. All right, so no sound here. So you all can see if you want to come to the department store, they have an old school ice cream dispensary and soda fountain. So this is, let's say, the second floor of the department store. So I'm coming down and just showing you all around. They have the cookware and everything here. And you can get your proper ice cream, cakes, all of that. And then I think one more floor. What did I do here? Doors opening. Okay, now I'm on the ground floor. So I took one lap around. So you all remember when I came in, there was this beautiful case of candies. It's just very throwback candy store, department store. So I just took a lap around so you all can see. So they've got this spiral staircase where you could go down. People are shopping, beautiful cakes, beautiful pastries, chocolates, whatever you want. I mean, it's so unfair. I want some of everything. But you all can see here and you can order whatever you want online. But I'm just walking through. They have fudge. Oh my gosh, they have a whole dessert section. You all look at this. Look at the truffles. Look at the truffle selection. This is in the same store. All of the bonbons that you want, every flavor you can think of. Look at the candies that they have, the treats. Look at all of this stuff in the store. Just leave me here. Just leave me here. Why? Why? And then more cakes and the macaroons, the eclairs, y'all just, oh my gosh, this is the cake that I had. Ah, this is the rose cake that they served me. I just noticed it here. So we have our pistachio cake with the rose frosting. Y'all, it's just, look at this. Every macaroon flavor that you can think of, blueberry and lavender, come on. Coffee, lemon, chocolate orange. This is on my way out. I didn't buy anything, but I just wanted to show you all inside the store on every floor. So, jeez. Jesse says, nice. Kia says, oh my goodness, dessert heaven. Yes, y'all. Yes, exactly. Is that so unfair? Ground floor. Okay, last floor. I'm on my way out. Oh, I'm so sorry. Fudge. So you can tell this is quite the landmark because you hear a lot of Americans in here. But I just wanted to show you all everything, and then we're about to exit. But yeah, when you walk in off the street, this is the ground floor. So you gotta pass by all this to go get tea. How do you even choose, y'all? How do I look at this and say, I'll take the chocolate lavender? Like, does anybody else want everything? Was that my apple? I thought I saw the little apple. I wonder if the pastries from tea basically are a collection of whatever they have fresh. I mean, it makes sense. There's my cake. They probably just grab stuff from here and put them on your tea tower.
Oh
Oh
my
my
gosh, look
gosh.
at the blackberries.
Look at the blackberries, y'all. Where is real bravado? Look at this blackberry tart. Look at this right here. When I tell you those blackberries were as big as my thumb, and you all know, or maybe you don't know, in Europe, a lot of the quality of food is so much better because it's natural. They just don't accept a lot of the ingredients that we do. So it was exquisite. All right. So leaving, just taking some still pictures, you all get the point. So handmade in England, so you can get all of your chocolates and anything that you would like. If anybody would ever like to gift me anything from Fortnum and Mason, maybe I should add it to my wish list. This would be an easy, I will take anything. It was just such an experience. Thank you, thank you, thank you. All right, so we've got our chocolate boxes, great souvenirs if you have time. So I've left, I'm rushing back to my Airbnb. So I've got an Uber, just taking some more video of some landmarks so you all can see. Hotel Ritz is another one that's great to have tea. London is an expensive city. It just is, you all. So there's a lot of money there. It's great to visit. Y'all know I'm in the suburbs, but you can see the traffic bumper to bumper. It took a long time to get back, but it was because everything was redirected. You can see it's barricaded off. So what should have taken 30 minutes took me 2 hours to get home. It was just bumper to bumper. And I think that's it. All right. Well, that was my high tea experience in London. I was there last month. It was incredible. I've been wanting to share this with you all. So thank you so much. I'll stop with the commercial. I don't know if I missed anything. If you all have any questions, feel free to ask. I always forget to drop the link because nobody comes up anyway. So I'll put it here. If you all have any questions or Life's Burrito, I know you had a question about tea. I've already gone over the history, but Fortnum and Mason is one of several places to have tea in London. It's where my etiquette teacher takes her students. And so I wanted to go because I missed the group outing. I had an amazing experience. I would absolutely go back. If you're interested in tea, you don't have to go to London to have this experience. Check any nice hotel in your area, and you can either call or go to their website and see what special events they have. The St. Regis is a good one. The certain wineries will have tea. Um, the Waldorf Astoria. For me, on my etiquette and elegance journey, it's a great place to go practice because, I'm not going to be able to stay at a $300 or $400 a night hotel, but you can go have a nice lunch or a nice tea, spend $100 and kind of have that luxury experience if that's important to you. So these are the experiences that I like to have and share with you all. Kia, you enjoyed it? All right, so let me wrap up with my commercial. Thank you all so much for helping me to monetize my channel. I appreciate that that so much. I was monetized in 4 months. If you wanna learn how I make extra income on YouTube, you can check out my course, Guide to YouTube Monetization. It's $50. You have lifetime access. I've gotten really good feedback that it's great for beginners. I tell you my whole approach to getting subscribers and watch hours. I'm now monetized on Facebook, Instagram, and TikTok, so you all are helping the channel to grow, and I appreciate you so much for that. You can absolutely preview it for free, see if it might be helpful for you or someone you know. The link is in the description. In addition to that, the cookbook is available. I know this is not our cooking stream, but I do have a cookbook of your favorite recipes. You all voted on them. There's a $5 discount code. Link is also in the description. If you, it is a, what do you call it? An ebook. So it's a digital download. So as soon as you buy it, you have the cookbook. If you want to print it, you absolutely can. It has the recipes that you all voted for, plus it has a video of me making that recipe. So each recipe you can either read or you can watch. So that's available. Maggie merch is now available. We have the Team Greedy aprons. You can check out my merch store. They're about $20. You can customize them size and color. And then I also offer consults if you want to pick my brain. I have 3 of you all that have decided that you want to learn a little bit more from Maggie. Consults are 30 minutes for $50 or an hour for $100. Link is in the description if you want to book a Maggie meeting to talk either about my cooking stuff, my etiquette and elegance journey, or my relationship experience. You can pick my brain. And I think that is it. Kia says, I'll be checking for a place to have tea. Yes, absolutely. So for anybody watching now or in the future, whatever city you're in or close to, start with either the nicest hotels and then kind of work your way down. If you're in a large city, they may have some tea houses, and tea houses are basically like standalone mini restaurants that all they do is serve tea, every day, kind of all day. And it's a great experience to practice. I do have a free Patreon. You all can join. Well, it's $1 and there's a $5 level. The $5 level gets you the free cookbook. And I'm always posting whenever I come across content that's helpful for me. I share it in the Patreon. So whether it's reminders or things I didn't know, if you also want to refine, you can join the Patreon. And then Maggie memberships on YouTube starting at $5. You get behind the scenes and early access, plus a cookbook and the course are there for free. Life's Burrito, can I have one of these high teas at my home? You absolutely can host high tea. I've never hosted high tea, but you can make it simple at home. You would just want to get your tea set with the pitcher and the teas that you have, and then have your snacks that you want to serve. You can make it at basic, but you can invite friends over for tea. I think it's a great way to spend time together. It's just something that I like. So, all right, everyone. So we are done for tonight. Tomorrow, we are continuing our series on man food. So please join me again. It's every day this week at 6 p.m. Eastern, 5 p.m. Central. Real Bravado Network has sponsored the entire stream. So I'm coming up with simple, easy lunches that you can pack for your working man, because we want to send our men out happy, healthy, and whole. So you all can check that out. And then Friday, if you're interested in the relationship stuff, the Wives Club, we will be talking about recognizing masculine behavior in women. So that'll be Friday night. So my 3 channels are Maggie the Substitute Teacher, Teachable Moments with Maggie, and then the Wives Club. So subscribe, turn on your notifications, because I'm here for you just about every day. All right. All right, everyone. Thank you so much. So let me go ahead and dismiss Instagram. Thank you so much for being here. And then TikTok, class is dismissed. Thank you so much for being here. Y'all, I'm new to this thing. I got to figure it out. All right. And then Facebook and YouTube. Thank you so much, Life's Burrito. Thank you all so much for being here. I'll see you back tomorrow in the kitchen as we continue our Man Food Week. Class is dismissed.